Hello? Ah, okay. You can hear me, okay. Thank you for coming. Right, I'm Andrew Ballard. I sort of wear two hats at the moment. I have a company, Postworks Media, and we've been doing this sort of stuff for my other hat, which is an advertising agency by the name of Nexus H UK. And they have a very long-time relationship with Honda Motor Europe. When Honda decided they wanted to look at CG, they went to Nexus, Nexus came to me. And we kind of, what we were wanting to do, I know CG is used everywhere, but it's not hugely used in print advertising, certainly not over in Europe. So we wanted to ensure that we could hit the quality levels for print that are way beyond what most CG is used for. Now to start with, before we do to start with, there is one of our outputs there. We're pretty happy with that. That is a Hypershot output. Not where we started. When we first started this, Hypershot wasn't around, and we had a traditional CG kind of route. So, over the course of 2006 through to 7, we did a couple of tests just to prove the viability of taking this up to print level. The kind of stuff we're using, Maya, Mental Ray. We didn't have access to any data, so everything was laser scanned and completely remodeled. We then did a couple of live projects. By this time, we were using Mental Ray as the production renderer. And overall, people were fairly happy, and the processes were all in place. So scan, remodel actually in Modo, build up everything in Maya, and then render out the Mental Ray. So, if everything was working, why did we look at Hypershot? Well, firstly, if you excuse the bullets being out of the line, there's a slight digression. The kind of stuff we're doing with print is not the same as what we normally do with CG. It's not the same as anything doing on the screen. The levels of scrutiny are huge. We're printing these things off at A3 close-up, and they're then sitting on a desk for a week being analysed. And one of the people analysing them is the manufacturer. So we're not talking about something that flies across the screen and is gone. We're talking about something that is very persistent. The other thing that happened with these projects is that we couldn't pin down the creative, which meant that every bit of the model needed to be spot on. Without data, that just made modelling a pretty major task. Just back to the resolution. Blue is SD TV, pink there is HD TV, and 6K is what we rendered the S2000. Subsequent projects, we've been rendering at 12K. Again, these are close-ups, so detail quality is paramount. Okay, so back to why we looked at alternative renderers. We were finding our previews to get it out to a good size, good enough size to know that it was going to work, and a good enough quality to know that it was going to work. It was taking about 45 minutes. Now, art directors, I don't know if you guys know art directors, but they're not very interested in sitting watching computers, so they would either fall asleep or go away. It was very, very frustrating, I have to say. The other thing is I've called WYSIWYG, which is what you see is not necessarily what you get previews. We could set up lovely previews, do a full render, and have problems with it, and have to go back to scratch. And on large renders, we frequently have crashes, Mental Ray bottling out of memory at 1 gigabyte, despite theoretical 2 or 4 gig limits. Okay, then 2007, summer, two things happened that actually changed what we decided to do. One was Photoshop CS3, which allowed us to edit the HDRs as high dynamic range images, and the other was Hypershot for Mac. Now, we're a Mac studio, so the Mac thing was quite critical at this point. And through the guys we know, we got in touch with Bunkspeed, and they let us have the beta. And one way or another, we decided to use the beta on the live job. So it was an interesting decision. Okay, the S2000 project itself. The brief was along these lines. All exterior imagery was to be CG, and this is across Europe. They've got to hold up to very high scrutiny, any angle close up. Hard top, soft top, open top, studio and locations, including a diver. No data, and 8 weeks. And the vehicle we had to scan was actually in Japan. So, this was the overall process we used. We scanned, used reverse engineering software to mesh it, then completely remodeled it to subdivision surfaces. Assembled it, smoothed it, did the shaders, transferred to Hypershot, and off we go. Now, very briefly, I don't know how many people get involved with scanning, but the way we were scanning these to get the absolute detail was complete vehicle scan. Again, because the car we actually needed wasn't available, we scanned the previous one and then just scanned the differences when that car became available. Now, laser scanning doesn't do reflective surfaces, doesn't do metallic surfaces, metallic paint, transparent surfaces, or anything that's not basically facing the laser, which actually makes it not really with cars, hence the paint. This car, the paint was okay. One of the other cars we did, they couldn't get the damn stuff off. And it was actually a prize for somebody who won it in a competition, which was interesting. And just to show some close-up of some of the actual scan data we had. I don't know if you know Honda cars, but they don't actually have all these little lumpy bumpy bits around the creases and joints. They're actually quite nicely made. So this gives us a very good starting point, but in no way will this hold up to the sort of levels we need. Hence the remodelling. Oh, that's a grille. Just off screen, there was actually a chunk of about 3 inches square where there was no data at all. Again, I've not seen a Honda like that unless it's crashed. Okay, so we remodel it. Everything in high detail, in case we need close-ups. Lights in particular, huge amount of detail to the lights. I would say the lights make the car real. You see a lot of very good CG everywhere. But if the lights aren't spot on, it looks CG. If the lights are real, it looks like a car. And we needed a detailed interior, so that's the subdivision mesh. And then in Maya we did the smoothing to increase convert it from a subdivision cage to a high-level geometry. Did all the shaders and exported it in groups so that we could build up different grades of car relatively easily. Okay, just quickly on lighting environments. For this project we shot specifically according to the art direction. The art director within Nexus H had a very strong idea of what he wanted, found the locations, he went out actually with car photographer Ed Lee, and they shot the backplates and the HDR files for the lighting. They actually had a low resolution model on site so that they could do visualization. I think it helped a little bit, not as much as I think we'd hoped. Studio environments were just built up absolutely from scratch. Again, under art direction, backgrounds in Photoshop, the HDRs. We actually took one of the Bunkspeed HDRs as a starting point, and then did whatever we had to do to it to get what the art director wanted out of it. Everything was then tidied up, things put in, taken out, whatever, motion blur as and when needed. Now again, something doing what we've been doing, but you don't generally, most people that I think use Hypershot Paint have to do, is to get it not only looking real, but looking stylised in the way that the art director, the creative directors, all the people up the line, right up to the client. It's incredibly easy to take Hypershot, put them on there, and make it look real. But to keep it looking real and to get all the highlights that the client wants, etc., etc., is quite a long process. So we probably, overall, we spent half a day to a day just on each shot lighting with the HDR images. Again, that's where the speed of Hypershot is stunning, because you can make a change and then look at it. No waiting for renders and all that sort of stuff. Okay, Hypershot in this particular project.